Hey guys, welcome to Hot Takes. It is I, young SHIRO, Vaporwave personality, DJ, and curator, and my co-host tonight is Short Stuff 888. Say hi to the folks, Short Stuff.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm excited to be here. Excited to interview Smoothbrain. So let's get it started tonight.
We've got a terrific night ahead of us. Obviously, Smoothbrain is known to many people in chat. Smoothbrain has been a friend of the show and a friend of the scene for a long time. One of those types of people that pops up at seemingly every other show, and you're kind of like that too, Short Stuff, actually. See you guys all over the U.S., and Smoothbrain just recently put out a chiptune album and played MAGfest a year ago. So Smoothbrain has been a person we've all known for a long time who's been kind of upping the ante, and we are incredibly excited for you guys to be able to get to know our good friend a little bit better tonight. Obviously that was Short Stuff's pick, so very happy to have a personal guest of her choosing tonight. So I want to start tonight with some ground rules and welcome everyone to the show. If you haven't tuned into Hot Takes before, we are an independent art and music DIY show focusing on the vaporwave scene and vapor adjacent scenes, where we bring people on and kind of talk about art, music, likes, dislikes, arguments, debates, hot takes, geeking out, all that good stuff. Happy to see a lot of familiar faces in here tonight. Very excited about the regulars that I see in here and some new faces too. Welcome to Hot Takes, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We are very excited. And I want to remind everybody that the commands at the bottom of the screen will allow you to, you can type in chat and pull up links or do stuff. For example, we've got a brand new Spotify playlist. I know, fuck Spotify, right? Working on getting all of our playlists off of Spotify, I promise. But for the time being, Short Stuff has graced us with a playlist full of dubstep and hardstyle music. So something pretty cool for those of you that are fans of vaporwave and other genres of music too. Definitely check out the very carefully curated selection of tracks that Tiff put together for us following that Spotify link. We got all kinds of other playlists on there too from other co-hosts and other previous guests of the show. And then, of course, as you can see, anything else down there, you're welcome to type in, and you can follow those links to follow us, jump to the Discord, or donate, etc. We like to keep it clean in Hot Takes. We like to avoid things like racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia. We don't do any of that. There's no room for that shit at the table on this show. But obviously, we do like the takes to be hot, so you're welcome to post some controversial thoughts in chat. Just keep it kind, all right? You can punch up, but you better punch way above your weight. And I mean way above your weight. Don't shit on the guy that has 5 more SoundCloud plays than you. Not on Hot Takes. So, with all that being said, please keep me apprised of whether or not anybody's audio levels are too high or too low. If music needs to go down in volume or you can't understand what Smoothbrain is saying, please let me know in the chat. We're going to start off with an hour and a half's worth of just getting to know Smoothbrain, and then the last half an hour we will go to audience-submitted questions, right, which we will take as they are posted. So please hold all questions until 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I would like to start tonight off with some recommendations. I have been scouring the internet and various different methods that are a secret. Crate digging methods that I cannot divulge. But I've got some finds that I want to talk about. And as usual, I want to start with some people that you guys probably know and that some sounds that you're probably familiar with. I had heard Luxury Noise's latest full-length new position in its entirety when it dropped. I believe there's a visualizer, and I listened in and had a good time. I talked with Paul, one of our co-hosts, right? But until yesterday, I had never actually given the album my full undivided attention, which I'm a little bit embarrassed by. I feel bad about that. But I have my feet in all kinds of different scenes and ongoing types of genres, and so only finally yesterday did I actually give it a full undivided attention, listen, and then listen to it again today, and I had a great time. It's really cool, having been a fan of like his first albums, listening to the transition from like really just kind of like deep house to like a lo-fi house almost vibe with Forgive Yourself to New Position, kind of going into the breaks. The breaks and like a very prominent use of like a jazzy saxophone and lots of vocal samples as well. Terrific album by Luxury Noise that I recommend to any fans of lush, breakbeat, any fans of music that kind of pushes the boundaries of what would be considered vaporwave, but very, very melodic, very euphonic, very... I'm trying not to say lush over and over, just like thick pads. You know what I mean? The loon sounds abound. The shakuhachi is there. So check out New Position by Luxury Noise, and there are apparently a few physicals left. I actually have one of them on my desk right now. Unbelievable. So gifted directly from the man himself. So yeah, check it out. Also, want to go ahead and recommend a couple albums that are a little outside the realm of vaporwave, starting with what would really not even really be considered an album, but more of a mini album. There's an artist that's kind of chiptune adjacent, but what I'm going to recommend is not chiptune. It's an artist called Little Scale, and they have a little 5-track like mini album that's kind of like just a riff on one song that came from, I guess, an actual full length that they kind of expanded into 5 little mini tracks, and it's called Emotions. And it's just like a 10-minute little EP, but it's like 5 little movements of one really long song that just are very beautiful, like down-tempo type sound with some pitch-shifted vocals that I think fans of vaporwave or any sort of experimental electronic music will enjoy. It's short, it's sweet, and it's emotional. So check out Emotions by Little Scale. And then finally, I want to give a shout-out to an album that I discovered. I have no idea how I found this artist. This artist called Love Fear. Probably just some weird SoundCloud algorithmic playlist, but this artist called Love Fear makes a kind of like a techno meets like deep house meets kind of like, I don't want to say deconstructed club because, you know, I say that all the time. It's a little bit more radio friendly than a lot of the stuff that I'm regularly plying on this show. But Love Fear put out an album called Schema, and it's just kind of one of those things that if you appreciate like IDM, if you appreciate down tempo, or just really anything that involves synthesizers that doesn't have vocals in it, you'll probably at least appreciate Schema by Love Fear. I feel like I'm kind of underselling the album, but like it's got some highs, it's got some lows, it flows really well. And if you like synthesizers, I recommend you check out Schema by Love Fear. It's not vaporwave, but if you like experimental music, I think you'll fuck with it. That's enough. I would like to turn the attention over to my co-host, Short Stuff, and she's got some strong opinions for you guys tonight.
Yes, so as you're all aware, I am very much into dubstep. I've also recently this year really gotten into hardstyle, and mainly because of that, it's because of rhythm. So my hot take is that rhythm sucks. I'm so over it. It's not like, it doesn't give me the same feeling that dubstep does. Like when I first listened to Flux Pavilion in 2011, it was like, I don't know, it was an experience. I feel like rhythm is almost like the same as like, how do I put it? It's like junk food for your brain, but for your ears. I've noticed it's become really, really popular this year. And especially like, cause I go to a lot of live shows, and it's just a repetition that I don't enjoy. Like, it's okay, and I try to, like, you know, it's okay to be enjoyed sparingly, but I try to explain it to people that, I try to explain it to people that rhythm should be enjoyed as a seasoning, not the whole meal. Like, it's good in like little bits. Like if you want to have a section of your song have rhythm, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. If you're not familiar with what rhythm is,
help me out here. What's rhythm?
So
I should know this.
So people it's a subgenre of dubstep, but it's very repetitive. Like it's like not even like 4 on the floor. It's just very repetitive. Just a very repetitive, like very sometimes harsh noise.
Okay.
Trying to think of an example of one. Let's see, Gengar. He's really popular. He's been doing a lot of rhythm lately. Linky, Lynky, he's doing a lot of rhythm. Let's see, Infect does a lot of rhythm. It's
somebody dropped that name in chat.
Yeah, they like I don't hate like rhythm entirely. It's just I'm tired of it. My ears are exhausted for it. It's just I need more variety. Like I like hearing.
So it's too repetitive.
Yes, it's too
Okay,
repetitive. Hence
it's
the
too
name rhythm.
repetitive.
It's rhythm.
Interesting.
It's I think it's like don't quote me on this, but I think it's what rhythm means. It's like I think it was like it stands for something like I can't remember. It's
Oh, it's
like
not a riff on the word rhythm, is it?
sort of no, it is. It is like
I'm showing my
I'm
age
draw,
here.
drawing a blank here. I should know this being such a hater of rhythm. Jamaican. It's like Jamaican rhythm. So,
Okay.
Jamaican music, dub, two-step, that all originated from, that's where dubstep came
Mm.
from, but that's where rhythm, that's where the a name rhythm comes from, is from Jamaican uh rhythm, and they just call it rhythm.
I have
Yeah, it's
heard a lot of rhythm hate. You're not the only one that I've heard
yeah.
hating on it. Like,
It's
apparently it's pretty contentious.
Yeah, it's very controversial. Anytime I bring up, like especially on public forums, like on Reddit, I'm like, yeah, I don't mess with rhythm anymore. I'm kind of tired of it. I get downvoted just to oblivion. It's like,
Wow.
what do you mean?
That's
it's a
hilarious.
circle jerk.
It's like
But
the pop of dubstep.
mm, I don't know if I would put it that way. It is. I mean, it's very popular now. I don't know if I would call it. I don't know, maybe a little. Maybe a
Okay.
little pop of dubstep. Because it's its own subgenre. I don't want to downplay it and say like, oh, all of it is bad. It can be fun. It can be fine in a whole in
But
a
as a
song. But
seasoning.
yes, as a seasoning.
You heard it
um,
on Hot Takes. It's good to have
yeah,
somebody who has some different, like wildly different tastes on here because, I mean, all of us like Radiohead and Animal Collective. It's nice to have somebody that actually fucks with hardstyle because it ain't me. So,
I
without
know.
further ado, we're going to bring on our illustrious guest of the night, Smoothbrain. If you don't know him, you'll recognize him when you see his face. He's the best Charles Bronson and Doctor Robotnik lookalike that we've got in the scene, and he actually played a Dr. Robotnik in costume at Midwest Aesthetic 3 Season of the Glitch. I literally have a poster for it right up there. But Smoothbrain also is a friend of many people, has been a supporter of many live shows. You'll often see him in the audience, and is a chiptune artist as well, again, who has played MAGfest and has plans to play many more shows, I'm sure. Smoothbrain, why don't you go ahead and take yourself off mute and say hello to everybody in chat today.
Hello.
What
Woo!
It is
a
I.
What a classy getup you have, sir. And look at all those houseplants in
you.
the background.
It's just a fraction of them.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
no, he's got a
Got a bit of
serious
a green thumb.
Yeah.
I love houseplants and wish I could have them, but of course I don't want Lux's cats to eat them and get sick. But
Fair.
looking good in your element and in your what's the word? What you're wearing. The word is escaping me. So I want to know what you think, though, since young Shiro moment. I want to know what you think about what Tiff had to say. Do you listen to Rhythm? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I agree. I think Rhythm is something better experienced live. I think if you're
Okay.
listening to it, it's very repetitive. It's definitely, like she said, a seasoning over the meal. But we've been to a couple of live shows where, they're up there just playing pure rhythm, and if the DJ has a good energy, I think it translates pretty well. Like if you're up
I
there,
would
the
have to
DJ's
concur.
jumping around, having a great time, you feel like you're having a great time.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
But
Definitely
it
does.
outside
can't
of
be.
outside of live shows, I don't think I'd listen to it.
It can't be understated how important it is to have a stage presence. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of funny that you bring that up. Have you guys ever been to like a show where, well, let me back this up. Like, I feel like when you don't really know what you're going to get, it could really go in one of two ways, right? It could be one of those things where like you have a great time and then you buy the studio album and you listen to it and you're like, the magic ain't there anymore, man. Or it could go the other way. Like you get there and you're just like, this is even worse than when I heard it on the CD. Like it was annoying then, and now I'm hearing it at max volume with a bunch of people around me that are, having a great time, and like I'm having the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that it's like something that you can kind of fuck with live. I feel like that definitely does add to the experience.
Certainly. It's definitely an experience through energy.
Yeah.
I've not been to a rhythm show. Do you think I should go?
Maybe just to experience it. I mean,
maybe
yeah,
one or two.
I'm not
Vanguard's
super
playing in
closed-minded.
Otherworld next it's in March.
But if they
yeah,
play more than like
next year.
2 songs, I guess I'm gonna have to dip.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
I don't know. It's you if you go to an all like strictly like local show, I feel like local shows more they try to play more to rhythm to just like that crowd, especially in the Pittsburgh scene. I feel like if you see like a bigger artist, they're gonna play more than just straight rhythm.
Okay.
They'll have more variety, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just
Sounds
my
like
scene,
rhythm is
but
like the tech house of the dubstep scene. Like it's just like the lowest common denominator. Like
yeah,
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I call them rhythm goblins because
goblins. That's funny. Rhythm duendes. Well, I love it. So let's get to know you a little bit, Smoothbrain. So where does the name Smoothbrain come from?
It's actually funny. I when I first started music in I don't know probably 10 years ago, I used to go by Aubergine, and I was a purely
Oh, that's such a
eggplant
cool
themed
name.
artist. Yeah, it was purely
You were a
eggplant
plant-
themed, and yeah,
Like Plant
I was an
Man.
eggplant. Yeah, I was a pure eggplant. I always wanted to have the purple suit, and a couple years into it, I just wanted to rebrand, and I couldn't think of a name. And an old friend of mine was talking, and I forget what he said, but he had said something, and I came back with like a sarcastic, facetious response, and he instantly got mad, and he was so furious. He's like, "You smooth brain," and it just clicked right then and there. I'm like, "That's perfect. That's what I want," because it's both. It's like I'm both smooth, bald, but also just a little bit stupid.
You know, it's good to have that like ability to laugh at yourself a little bit, because then the expectations I feel like aren't as high. I mean,
Right.
not that you want to like lead with that, but like it's okay, you know, if a little mistake happens or if something a little bit of silliness happens on stage, that's kind of part
I
of
feel
the
like that's
act,
my
you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's my whole character. Is just you got to roll with the punches and you know,
Part of the
just
shtick.
make what it is. Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. That's how Smooth Brain came to be.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
So, Smoothbrain, Jason, and/or Tyler.
Yes.
How'd you?
Are we doing a name reveal?
Maybe.
The man of
You
many
wanna-
names.
Yeah, sure. Fun fact: I've introduced myself to many of you as Jason. It's my first name, but I didn't start going by Jason until I was about 22. My entire life, because I'm named after my father, it was easier to go by my middle name. So for the first 22 years of my life, I went by Tyler, and that's just what they call me
Wild.
at home. So
I just learned this last night. I feel like you look more like a Jason.
right.
what I'm
I mean,
telling
that's
all
what
of
I was saying. Is I feel like Jason is a more unique name. I haven't encountered many Jasons.
No, I want you to say what
think
you
it
said
fits
last
better.
night. That's a better hot take.
Yeah, you know what? I've met so many Tylers in my life, and they're not great people. I'll just throw it out there.
Like Tylers tend to be douchebags.
Yeah, Tyler's is very, you know.
Sorry to all the
yeah.
Tylers in the chat.
Sorry, yeah, rest in peace.
LMAO.
Jason is just a much more powerful name, and I feel like I've grown into it as I've become an adult. So that's what I've been introducing myself as.
Cool. Oh, was that your question, Tiff?
Sort of.
I feel like it wouldn't be fair if that was your question. You could have another one.
All right, fine. Well, tell us about your first time finding vaporwave or like trying to slow down something. Because I know you've mentioned to me that you've messed around with like slowing down stuff before vaporwave was a popular term. So how was
Okay.
that for you?
So that's interesting. Like I've always listened to like on the 3DS program or the Nintendo DS, I would always like download or like record stuff from my earbuds and slow it down or pitch shift it.
On your DS?
Yeah, on my DS, and I would
Oh,
listen
that's
to it
too
like
cool.
that. And this was like, probably 2009, 2010, like way before I knew vaporwave. And I also used to like listen to like like pulse stretched music. It was
Nice.
basically songs turned down to 800%.
800%. Whoa.
Yeah.
Just, so
Just
you were
turned
into like
ambient
ambient
track.
and drone music way young.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something about it entranced me. But interestingly enough, the first time I heard vaporwave, I don't think I liked it. I think
Interesting.
I the first time, because I came across vaporwave I think in 2014, 2015.
Okay.
And it was in the era in which it was a meme. You know, everybody's like, is this vaporwave? And I'm like, what the fuck is vaporwave? And so every time I'd look it up, all I could get was memes, and I ran across, you know, Macintosh Plus, and I listened to it 3 separate times, and I was like, I don't like this.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know, something about the 3rd time it just like clicked, and I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Was it because you weren't sure whether you were supposed to take it seriously or not?
I think that's the thing. Yeah, I felt like it was one big joke, and I'm like, I don't know if I can vibe with this, but
because I'll be honest with you guys, like I'm not, and I no disrespect to anyone in here that's more of a comedic type, but like I'm not usually a fan of like funny music. For whatever reason, like I take my music really seriously. It's like, I don't want to hear no funny music. So like I guess
I'm usually the opposite. I love funny music, but something about it, like I just couldn't. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
Now, what is your take on Shiro? What is your take on memes in music? Like in dubstep, it's very popular to like, you know, like say memes. Like last year at Lost Lands, it was the jackpot meme. And then this year, obviously, was the lizard meme. So they a lot in dubstep. They incorporate a lot of memes and just popular references and whatnot. What is your take
into
on
the
that?
ground?
Yeah, no, they do. What is your
How
take
funny.
on that, Shiro? You.
I mean, well,
yeah.
you know, obviously I do like memes. I mean, we have whole channels dedicated to it in the Discord. I feel like my meme game has actually gotten super weak because I'm getting older and I'm not on TikTok. But I do love like the odd, like stupid picture, the absurdist, surrealist humor, anything Burke posts in food chat, actual gold. And then, but as far as like in music, Vantage's Dat Boy is probably the furthest that I would go, and that is already a super dated meme. That song fucks, dude. If you guys haven't heard Vantage's Dat Boy, it's not a Future Funk song, but he did a really good job. I mean, Blank Goofy, it's not a meme, but like I liked some of that. Like some of it, if it rips, I like it. Like I can forgive the humor aspect of it if it rips. But if it's just like toilet flushing sounds, like I'm cool off that, you know?
Fair, yeah.
I will say, like, Frank JFC is really good at marrying memes and music.
Yeah, he does it perfectly.
He is one of the
Frank.
artists that I'm okay with, like, funny music because he's really funny. Like,
Yeah.
you ever-
Like, genuinely, yes.
I don't want to take over the conversation and talk about Frank JFC all night, but like he never stops. Like he does that in person too. And I know you've hung out with him, Smoothbrain, because I've seen pictures. But like that's
All
not
the
just
time.
an act. That's how he actually is. It's unbelievable.
He's just a great character.
Yeah, we love Frank.
Speaking of character, I happen to mention the Sonic the Hedgehog, Doctor Robotnik, Charles Bronson thing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you curated this look of yours?
So I was originally going for a Charles Bronson look, but the mustache actually spawned out of a joke with a coworker, and we were talking about you always shave your face in funny patterns. You always wonder what you would look like with a mustache, and I was like, you know what, I'd grow a mustache. I'd stick with it for a little bit, and I did it, and then I don't know. I just had that Charles Bronson look. I'm like, I'm gonna get buff. I'm gonna get swole. I'm gonna look like Charles Bronson. And so I've just been growing the mustache, but I think maybe twice in my life I've been called out as Charles Bronson. Everybody sees me as Eggman, and I'm like, yeah, I guess it fits. So I just kind of embraced it. I'm gonna drop a bomb. I didn't like Sonic growing up. I've never liked Sonic.
Whoa, that is a hot one.
I was a Mario boy. I never liked Sonic. And it wasn't until I started looking like Eggman that I was like,
I mean, me too, but
it's
like,
grown on me.
I've always kept that opinion to myself because there's so many Sonic lovers in the scene.
Right.
I don't know. Chat, are you Team Sonic or are you Team Mario? Because I was definitely Team Mario, but I guess there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I was Team
Utopia
Mario.
District in chat, like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Sonic until like I was well into my 20s. And
That's
I don't
hilarious.
know. I think after becoming Eggman, I kind of got interested in the character design and the
You had to
the
fake it
lore
till you
of
make it.
Sonic. Honestly, yeah.
Bro,
Well, it doesn't help. I
Sonic,
also wear these round glasses, so everybody's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's the Eggman glasses." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess so."
man, I am looking off in the corner. Of course, I mentioned it early in the show at the October 6th, have you seen this man poster that I boosted from Midwesthetic 3 Summer Synapse, where you were dressed to the nines as Doctor Robotnik, albeit a very inebriated Doctor Robotnik. And what a fun night, man.
Yeah.
Those who have seen that video know what he's referring to.
Oh, yeah. We won't be
Floppy
posting that.
Eggman.
But, yeah, very, very memorable night. But that's badass,
That was the first
dude.
time I really embraced the character. I think Ethan had asked me, he was like, "Hey, would you dress up as Eggman and help us do a scavenger hunt?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I did a photo shoot here. I tacked like a sheet to my ceiling. Yeah, I tacked a sheet to my ceiling to have like a backdrop, and I just sat there doing all kinds of poses in the camera.
Oh, is that where the GIF comes from? All the poses you did? No way. That's great.
So that's all my photo shoots. I just do a bunch of poses, and then whatever, I just mash them all together into a chaotic GIF, and I love it.
So, like, to anyone who's not familiar, Midwesthetic, of course, is Ethan, Wintermute, and Salem, but I don't remember what Salem's screen name is. And they threw this amazing show. Yep. They threw this amazing show, I believe, in 2023 called Summer Synapse. And then that same year in the fall, they threw the third iteration of their Midwesthetic show. It was called Season of the Glitch. They had me, Christ, Skeleton Lipstick, Sound Market, some really awesome Witch House acts, and just a bunch of people who I am probably forgetting. Imcopav was there, I believe.
Frank and Imcopav were there.
Yeah, Frank was there, and they played a show where it was like a costume contest as well. And we played at this venue that was like, okay, it's on the outskirts of town. It's a cool, alternative lifestyle venue. A bunch of goths here, people that are there that were already going to be in costume because it was so, close to Halloween. And then we figured out that there was also, a giant sex dungeon in the back. And it was Geometric Lullaby. He was there. He played a show too. Yeah. So everyone was just ripped and sneaked back to the giant sex dungeon and took photos and hung out and not to talk over you or make this about that, but you were there. And we had a hangout after the show at Wintermute's apartment where we stayed up till the sun came up. And he drunkenly cooked us chicken breasts and ordered McDonald's that never showed up. And and he got noise complaints aplenty. The poor guy probably damn near got evicted just from that night alone. And he was so mad at me because I'm not a huge fan of Sweet Trip. I don't know if you guys like Sweet Trip, but Ethan was not happy with that opinion. But anyways, rant over. So you've told us about the mustache. What about the shaved head? I don't want to get into your business, but is it a choice? Do you have a receding hairline? What's the story?
It is and it isn't. I actually started going bald at 14 or 15.
Damn, bruh.
I saw really long hair, and that shit started receding.
I would love to see photos of that.
Early. I'll have to send you some after this.
I'd be
that
delighted.
just started receding when I was 15. By the 15, I got a haircut, and all I had was a tuft right here. And I'm like, I gotta shave this. I can't keep going like this. So by my senior year in high school, I shaved my head. Not quite as it is now. Just buzz cut. And I don't know, it grew. I mean, especially because I was working on trucks and stuff, so it was a dirty environment. It's easier to keep my hair clean. No grease and oil in there.
Working on trucks, okay. Tell us about that. And then I'll cede my time and let Tiff ask a question.
You're good.
Up until recently, I've been working as a diesel mechanic. I started when I was 15. And,
damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
I got into it. Yeah, I got into it just greasing vehicles and doing service and stuff. And then I was going all the way up to engine work, internal engine work, valve lashings and stuff like that. Really in-depth torque specs, and it was fun.
Shit, I don't know anything about. That's a respectable field of business, sir.
I love working with my hands. Anything that if I get to take something apart and put it back together, I love that.
Do you have real busted, scarred hands like most mechanics?
Oh, totally, dude. I got
all kinds of injuries to your hands.
Yeah, where I've punched a transmission by accident. The wrench slipped, and I was just right into it. Yeah, all over the place. Respect.
Yeah. You got a scar on your back still from.
Oh yeah, where I stood up into an open door or something like that. Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, were you in one of those bays underneath a vehicle or something?
Yeah, I was like underneath and I stood up too soon and I like got scraped by the corner of a truck door or
Ooh,
something. Yeah.
yikes.
I mean, it's just part of the job. You quite literally put your blood, sweat, and tears into those
It's
trucks.
always cool to hear like what people do outside of going to vaporwave shows and playing shows. You know, that's too
Right,
cool.
yeah.
Man. Respect to you.
I
It
do
was,
want
it was a
to
lot of fun.
change directions here. I want to get more into your music. Because not many people know that you make music. I feel like people,
Yeah.
at least in our vaporwave scene, know you as, oh, it's that guy, it's that Eggman, it's Doctor
The funny
Robotnik,
man.
it's the funny man. I always see him at shows everywhere. So, but a lot of people don't know that you've been making music, and not really like releasing it until really this year. I want you to
Right.
get more into that. Like, I want you to talk about like your experience about growing up making music, because you started like as a teen, like what doll you
Right.
used to use and what doll you use today.
Well, I mean, I started seriously making music probably about 14 or 15 in Family
Wow.
Tracker, trying to make 8-bit music, like chiptune music. But I
Hell
had an
yeah.
interest in this program like way back when I was like 9 years old. There was a YouTube channel I used to watch. It was called Cat33 Pokemon or something like that. And they used to do Family Tracker covers, but also they did Mario Paint Composer covers. So technically,
Ooh.
Mario Paint Composer was my first doll.
So they would like
That's right.
cover real songs in the Mario Paint DAW.
They would cover like mostly Pokemon songs, like Pokemon
Okay.
soundtrack, but there was
That's
a
still
couple where
super
they
cool.
did like Metallica and stuff. Like that's what piqued my interest was Metallica and Family Tracker. But when I was 9 years old, I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, "This is dumb. I'll never get it." And then I don't know what happened. I came back maybe 4 or 5 years later, and something just clicked, and I started just messing around making chiptune in the tracker, and I did that for like 10 years. I don't know. I
Wow.
loved messing with the tracker. I loved being able to work with limited channels. Because in chiptune, you've got like 4 sounds, and that's about it. You've got your square channel, which is 3 to 7 different variations. Your triangle, your noise, and like a sample. So it was something about working within the limitations that really let me work on my creativity. I wasn't being flooded with so many options and so many samples. It was like, this is your tool set, this is what you've got, and I'd just sit there and I'd play around for hours. It was just I don't know. It's something really clicked about the tracker program then.
I feel like a wiser
So-
person than myself at one point has said the limitations breeds creativity.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. I spent 10 years doing that. It's like I just recently started releasing music officially. I think I threw something out like right before Econ 3, just to like try to put my name out there. But I'm very much a perfectionist, and I will spend years just tweaking the same track over and over again
Yeah.
until I'm just like, I've got
A
to.
little birdie told
gotta
me
get
you
it out
didn't
there.
release your album for a long time because of those perfectionist
Yeah.
tendencies.
Yeah.
Like some of those tracks are like the original
I know how
songs I
that
made in Family
feels.
Tracker when I was like 15. So it's like they're 10 years in the making.
That's amazing, bro. And I'm sorry, did I miss what DAW you're using right now?
I'm sorry.
'Cause Tiff
right
did
now I'm
ask
using. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
you're
currently using
fine.
Renoise.
Green
I
noise.
used Renoise. I used Family Tracker for 10 years, and I feel like I got a hold of that, and then I craved new sounds, so I moved over to Renoise, where I could like put in actual samples and stuff, and like different instruments. Like right now, I'm working with like the Roland SE88 sound fonts and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nifty.
I think the Pokemon
okay.
Emerald French horn.
Dude,
Yeah, 'cause the
composing.
music you make is not really what you consider chiptune, like not traditional chiptune. You sort
Right?
of
Yeah. No, I don't see. I'd love to work with hardware, but I don't work with like actual like chips, because it's expensive to do that.
Expensive, and it seems like it's kind of difficult.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's the same concept, but like I've always had an interest in stuff like LSDJ, where it's the actual on the Game Boy. And I mean, I get it; it's the same tracker concept, but I've yet to get my hands on a copy, yet to be able to play around with something like that.
Maybe it's in your future.
I'd love to.
Until then,
Could
I
you
mean,
explain like what a tracker is? I don't think a lot of people know what trackers are. 'Cause I
Um,
think people know what Ableton looks like, even if like I don't
right.
make music, but I know what it looks like. But yeah, go ahead and give us a little bit
So
like
from
rundown.
what I understand, like a tracker, like the whole concept of a tracker is you have your samples built into the file. It's like you don't have to have anything external. There's no like plugins or anything. It's like everything's loaded into that tracker file, and it's all vertical, or like read like perfectly metered out, and like different channels and stuff. So it's very similar to your traditional DAW like FL or Ableton, but it's a little bit, I would say, more mathematical.
Yeah, because you change like numbers. I know when I see you
Yeah,
make
for sure.
music.
So
Oh,
yeah,
you've
so
watched
there's
him
like effects.
produce?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
there's effects columns and all kinds of stuff, and it's usually in like hexadecimal, and you'll sit there and like each
Wow.
it'll have like lines per beat, and you'll sit there and you'll put in different values. So as it's reading, it's changing sliders and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's
I've
super
barely
cool.
scratched the surface of what they can do.
Bruh. I remember reading about like how David Wise composed the Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 soundtracks. And I'm sure it was very different from that, but I remember hearing about how like he didn't just play it on the keyboard. He had to do a bunch of like mathematical and like hardware
the
shit.
program it.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably not what you're doing, but still
I feel
very,
like
very awe-inspiring.
trackers were created as like a solution to that. So like back
Oh,
in the
that's
day,
good.
they were very much just programming, and they didn't have that kind of software to be able to compose in old video games like that. So trackers kind of came as a solution to that, as some kind of
I got
software
you.
where you could actually sit there and compose it and tweak it, and it wasn't all hardware based.
That's too cool, dude. So like since you kind of chiptune, I'm sorry, is like it's irreversibly linked with video games. It just is. You know, you
Yeah.
can't divorce chiptune from 8, 16, and maybe even 32-bit in some cases sound fonts or just like concepts. So like what are your favorite video game soundtracks?
I definitely think of Super Mario World and like Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay.
Even the first three Super Mario Brothers, like I don't know, something about that sound really.
Koji Kondo,
stuck
I
with
think.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Too cool.
liked specifically the sound chip used in the Commodore 64. I really like that kind of harsh noise. Not quite noise, but like it's where it's sweeping through the duty cycles. I really like that. Right. So like the Commodore 64 chip is like even more simple than like the Nintendo, where the Nintendo has like 4 to like 7 channels. Commodore 64 has
Shit,
just
I was
3.
muted. Okay, so it's super
No, I
basic.
heard you.
Yeah, you guys heard me, but they didn't. See, told you that was going to happen.
Muted
Gotcha.
Shiro.
Okay, so super basic, but like even further limitations.
Yeah,
Very cool.
But it's an interesting sound. It's like less refined.
I got you.
So I want you to tell us about like how you discovered your favorite genre, because I know that you tend to like a lot of genres, but I want you to go and tell me or tell the audience really about like how you discovered polka and
Polka.
and all
Okay.
that. Yes,
I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite genre, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah. Well, one of
I
your
don't have
favorite genres.
I have a very eclectic music taste, and
Yeah, obviously.
I don't even know how I got into polka. I feel like it had to do something with Weird Al, to be honest. I definitely
That's
went through a
fair.
Weird Al phase when I was like 9 or 10. But I started listening to that.
And then
I think-
Argentinian music.
I was about to say, I think nowadays it's a lot of like South American music. I just love it because
Wow.
it's very fun and bouncy. I love it.
Well, damn. Respect to you, man. I wish I was.
definitely I love that there's accordions, and I feel like there should be more accordions in music.
Okay. That's a hot take,
Yeah,
but I'll take it.
I want to hear accordion vaporwave.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so like those are all very non-electronic genres of music. Well, I mean, I don't want to make an assumption that South American. Did you say South American? I feel like you did.
Yeah, like-
Argentinian.
Yeah,
South-
Argentinian. Sorry, they're not using synthesizers. Like the synthesizer hasn't gotten to Argentina yet or something. But like, I feel like what you're referencing is very like analog and kind of still very like
Yeah, like real
acoustic with the
instrumental.
accordion and the
Yeah.
pop pop like trap
Yeah.
set and everything. But like, what are some electronic genres outside the vaporwave realm? Obviously, chiptune. What else?
Oh, of course, chiptune. I grew up. I really like techno, like just as a loose term, but my guilty pleasure is definitely nightcore.
Wow, I feel like didn't you put a nightcore
like
track on your playlist, Short Stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like I
Yeah.
saw that. Couldn't be me,
I feel like
you guys.
it's more popular nowadays, especially with TikTok. But I love nightcore music. Just something about sped up techno when I was a kid.
It's basically just hard style with anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Just like anime
pitched up
vocals, anime visuals, yeah.
Yep. Man, you guys can have all the nightcore. No, I'm not gonna throw shade at anybody's favorite type of music, but it ain't for me, man. I mean, maybe I just haven't heard. Maybe I haven't had the right strain, right?
Well, what part of nightcore do you not enjoy? Like, is it the loud? Is it like the high pitched vocals?
It doesn't
'Cause, like,
matter.
For me,
It doesn't matter. But what do you?
It does.
Okay, well,
just
you know,
curious.
like, I mean, I'm not here to shit down anybody's, like, musical taste. I mean, I like to do that, but I'm not going to do it to my friends. But,
No, but we're on hot takes. So
but, like, you know, we are on
Yeah.
hot takes. I don't know, man. I think it's, like, it's a combination of, I mean, listen, you've been present whenever I've shit-talked hardstyle. I'm sorry. It's just an opinion, right? Opinions can't hurt anybody. Unless it's, like, hate speech. But, like, opinions can't hurt anybody. And I think it's for me, like, just it's too fast. Like, it's bordering on, like, comically fast. So
Yeah.
it's like it's hard to take serious. Like, it makes me want to laugh. And then there's, like, the weeby aspect to it, which, like, no
Right.
shade. I like anime. I mean, you know. But, like, the pitched up vocals are just, I don't know. Like, it just, it almost sounds kind of funny. And I just get, I can't get
So what
immersed.
do you-
It takes me
what is
out,
your
you know.
thoughts about
I get it, yeah.
hyperpop? Hyperpop is a lot of like high pitched vocals.
It's original nightcore.
Hyperpop. I think there's something about, like, the pounding 4 on the floor, like, super fast, like 160 BPM plus beat that, like, just doesn't sit right with me. So, like, hyperpop at least has more than just, like, a 4 on the floor beat. And, you know, they at least have, like, not all hyperpop is the same, but often have, like, some really weird, like, auto-tune effects on the vocals. And I feel like, not to generalize, but I feel like a lot of hyperpop is kind of experimental.
Oh, for sure.
Again, I'm not here to talk about why the music that you like is bad. That's mean, especially because you're our guest. But, like,
No,
hyperpop
it's fine.
works for me because it's a little bit experimental, and nightcore, it's just too fast and too, like, just kind of corny sounding to me, man. I'm sorry.
It reminds me, I recently showed Tiffany a genre like speedcore and extra tone.
Oh, nice. Extra tone.
Where it's like
300 beats per
plus.
minute.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much where the percussion just becomes like a solid tone.
Bruh. And that's, like, the opposite of what you said you were doing and slowing things down to 800%.
I know.
It's like,
I'm
why
two
don't you...
ends of both extremes. Yeah.
Seriously, what a binary difference there.
Well, then let me ask you this: do you prefer like slow or fast music?
That's a
That's
great
a really
question.
good question. I was thinking about that earlier because, like, when I'll export a track and I'll sit there and I'll play with it and I'll pitch it down and I'll pitch it up and I'm like, I don't know which one
That's
sounds
cool.
better. I think generally slowed down music sounds better. I mean, because you got vaporwave. I mean, I love vaporwave. I love stuff like Chipmunk Sludge Fest.
Oh,
I love that shit so
Dude,
much.
you do fuck with outsider music. I remember Tiff
Oh, for
talking
real?
about you guys. She showed us a picture of you guys riding a roller coaster, and she's like, "I was nervous, so he kept
Oh,
singing
yeah.
Rock and Roll McDonald's the entire
Yeah,
day."
I don't know, I was so nervous about it, and she starts singing Rock and Roll McDonald's, and I'm like, yeah, that'll get me through it. I'm just screaming it the entire way through the,
So funny.
roller coaster ride.
like I was there like until we went down, and then he's still singing. I'm just like, are we still doing this?
That's funny.
It took my mind off the heights. The funniest part, there was like a 7-year-old girl sitting behind me, just like, wee. I'm just like screaming for my life.
I'm not a roller coaster guy. If you hadn't, I mean, just more things that young Shiro
I
doesn't
made
like.
him go on the roller coaster with me.
Wow.
I mean, I'm glad you did. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Respect
They're
to you.
fun. I have a hard time like just gaining the momentum.
They
and
ain't
just hopping
fun
on the
to
ride.
me, man. I rode with one of my employees. Got a Tesla, and he was like, check this out. And we weren't on a residential street, but we were not on the highway. He's like, check this out. And he punches it, and he does the like 0 to 80 in 3 seconds thing. Have you guys ever like experienced that? So I'm obviously not an Elon Musk fan, but whatever. People buy Teslas, and he punched it, and I felt my eyes like sink back into my skull, and like I just felt like, I'm pretty sure there's like a SpongeBob episode or something where he's like pushed into this chair, and I thought I was gonna die, bro. Like it was so hard on my psyche that like 5 seconds of that, like I just depleted all of my mana, and I was like exhausted for the rest of the day. It scared me so bad, it like wore me the fuck out.
You had an adrenaline drop, yeah.
Bruh,
yeah.
I guess like I'm just lame like that. So tell me a little bit about what was your first experience with some kind of music as a child that like really moved you? What was the moment where you were like, I love music, like this is my thing?
I mean, I've always loved music. I've always been very musically inclined. Like as far as I can remember, I was introduced to music. You know, of course, everybody's first music being like the Beatles or something like that. Like I grew up, I loved the Beatles. I think, you know, now that I think about it, I think "Nowhere Man" by the Beatles was like probably the first song, because I had the Yellow Submarine VHS tape. And I used to watch it all
nice!
the
Yellow
time.
Submarine is such a great film. It's
So
so
that
much
was
fun.
that was like it was a very important song to me. And like when I was 5 years old, I sang it at like a school concert.
That's cute.
So that was fun. But when I think back, I always think of like "A Day Without Rain" by Enya. I had an art teacher that would start that album from the beginning of class and just play it all the way through. And I was like, I had the same art teacher for 5 years, so it was every day for 5 years that track or that album. And like even now, I'll put it on and it'll just like instantly relax me, and I'll fall asleep. I love it.
Wow, that's crazy. They played the same song every day for 5 years. I mean, no disrespect. I don't know if I could even play my absolute favorite song every day for 5 years without getting sick of it.
It's just ingrained in my memory, though.
That's super cool, dude.
So, are you a fan of genres? Because the reason why I ask this is because you like when I listen to your music, it does sound chiptuney, but even yourself, you say that it's not exactly chiptune. So, do you feel like, you know, that genres shouldn't be a thing? Do you think it's a good thing to categorize?
I think genres are important as far as finding what you like and don't like, and being able to communicate that to other people. I feel as far as making music, I don't think you should define your music as a genre. I think that should be very loose, and you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just funny sounds that you like, and you're just trying to find other people that like those funny sounds.
Just wiggly air, bro.
Just wiggly air, yeah. I mean, I like genres as far as being able to communicate to other people. Like I like this kind of music that sounds like this, but I don't think as a creator you should stick to a particular genre or like be so defined by the specifications of what this subgenre is.
I think that's extremely well stated. I'm not a producer, but I think that's very key, because it is great for compartmentalizing, describing, you know, instead of a sentence, you know, well, they've got these like wall of sound guitars and really androgynous vocals, and they're more like instruments, and you know, the songs just kind of go. Yeah, they don't really have a song structure. You could just say shoegaz. You know,
right? Yeah, and most people understand.
But like you said, like it's also kind of crippling to try to just, I guess, paint yourself into a corner with that genre tag. So I think that's extremely well stated.
I think all music is a little more nuanced than that. There's definitely a bleed between all genres.
I agree. That's the space where I want to be, personally.
Exactly.
Well, I'm trying to think of like something else that I typically really like to ask people. You got these like ready answers. When you were in like take us through your, again, to just kind of piggyback off the genres, like take us through your musical journey. So we know now you're listening to Argentinian music and polka, but as a child you liked the Beatles and Enya. So what about between that? Like, what were you into in high school? What were you into in undergrad? What were you into immediately prior to getting into vaporwave? You know.
It's been a ride. So like I think as far as I can like earliest I was introduced to stuff like the Beatles and like Yanni, and
Nice.
my parents liked a lot of like new metal and like early like late 90s,
Your
early
parents
2000s
were into
rap.
new metal.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
My parents listened to a lot of Korn albums. Like my favorite band, System of
Wow.
a Down.
Nice. Okay. See, this
So
is
I
the
listened,
content I crave.
right. I think I just kind of listened to like because I had a radio when I was a kid. My grandparents got me a radio, and I just listened to the classic rock station all the time. So I have a lot of like boomer music that I love. So I was like 7 years
Gotta
old just
love the
listening to the
classics.
radio. And I don't think it was until I was about 10 years old that I started like consciously like picking the music I like to listen to. So I think around that time I was listening to a lot of like Eminem, a lot of System of a Down, a lot of Korn, Slipknot, stuff like that. And then I got access to like regular access to the internet because like right around that same time I was also listening to like Nightcore remixes and techno and 8-bit stuff. I was all over the place. And I think
Nice.
I think I rode that for a while, and then I started getting into like anime music, like anime OSTs and composers and stuff like that, video game soundtracks. I
Hell
think that's
yeah.
what I was listening to right until I got up to vaporwave. Because right before I got into vaporwave, I downloaded SoundCloud and I was just like listening to like whatever was being fed to me. So a lot of just like experimental stuff. Then I got into vaporwave, and I rode that for a while. Got into like retro wave, chill synth, stuff like that.
Nice. Okay.
I went through like a dark wave, like a Soviet wave kind of.
All right. Little cold wave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Too cool.
And then I don't know. I think I just wanted to collect music in a way. I just wanted to collect like all kinds of experience. So I was on a website where I could talk to like foreign people like all over the world. And I'd always ask them to give me some kind of music, you know, whatever was recommended. And I had a friend that recommended me like Argentinian national like classic rock, and I loved stuff like that. I fell into like what is it, Luis Alberto Spinetta. I loved Charlie Garcia. I loved sumo. I loved stuff like that. It felt like it felt like the same classic rock stuff that I grew up as a child, but like in a completely different part of the world. It was like the same energy, but different, and I instantly clicked with it. I listened to that for years. And I think at the same time I was, yeah, I loved it. I think at the same time I was also listening to like new wave, like Talking Heads and Oingo Boingo. I love Oingo Boingo so much.
Boingo Boingo.
Yeah, I love Danny
Nice.
Elfman. So
Well,
I've very much been all over the place.
Now? Like
Now, that's a good question. I mean, it's still very much the same. I feel like right now it's just been a big jumble of everything. I've definitely been influenced into a lot more hardstyle through you.
LMAO.
So
That's
a lot
funny.
more hardstyle. I've been revisiting the Nightcore stuff that I used to like. I don't know, just all over the place. Definitely the new metal again, because I recently seen System of a Down in like New Jersey. So
Really?
I got back into that
hard.
again. Yeah,
Nice.
it was a cool show. It was System of a Down and Korn at MetLife Stadium.
Wow.
Me and my
okay.
dad went. It was a great time.
Oh, you and your dad went together. That's adorable.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love taking my dad to shows. We do that a
Oh,
lot.
I absolutely love
There's
that.
we have a band. It's a Necrogoblicon. We love Necrogoblicon.
Necrogoblicon. It's like
Yeah,
kind of like
we've
a
seen
Gwar
them.
adjacent band.
Very much so. Yeah, the first time I saw them, they actually opened up for Gwar.
Oh, no shit. Okay, well, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Necrogoblicon.
So yeah, I love them. They I don't know, it's just like really good energy. We've seen them like 4 or 5 times together. But they get up there and they scream, and they've got they've got a goblin on stage.
Unreal.
It's my favorite. Goblins are real.
Goblins are real.
It's about
I
the
believe in
goblinoids.
goblins.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to know?
I mean,
well,
Tell me
I
the
believe-
lore.
I believe in goblinoids. Well, it's important
okay,
to know
like,
that.
wait, hang on. Just you actually believe in goblins? Like, you're not. This isn't a bit.
I don't, it is and it isn't. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's hear.
I mean,
it.
like anytime something weird happens, I'm like, it's the fucking goblins, dude. It's like I don't know. I feel like I've gaslit myself into believing in goblins. But it's also important to know, like
goblins,
all
gremlins.
goblins. Yeah, all goblins are goblinoids, but not all goblinoids are goblins.
Right, right.
Within goblinoids, you've got your elves, your gremlins, your duendes and stuff like that.
Duendes. Okay.
Yeah,
Tell us
all
more about the
all
duende.
I don't know the full lore about the duendes. It's just like like the dark elves that come and get you. Like they tell you you're not supposed to, you don't belong there.
Okay. So like when you go into like the circle of mushrooms and stuff, like stay out of there. Like you could end up in the duende.
The DMT realm.
The DMT. Yeah, I'm cool off that. Straight good off of that. Rhythm goblins. This is good. This is great content. Okay, so I'm gonna start just kind of shooting from the hip, man. What kind of music or art moves you to tears?
I think you might have stumped them.
That's a good question.
Yeah. And I tend to do that, and I'm sorry. You can think on it. Like, what's the last thing that made you cry, as far as art or music?
I'm not sure. I definitely like it when I can tell that the artist is like bearing their soul into something and just like putting their everything in it, like especially into like stage performances.
Okay.
Like I like it when you see them just like belt out with pure emotion, and you can feel it too.
Too cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I can't think of anything specific, to be honest. I'm sure it'll come to me later.
It will, and then you'll want to like post about it. Like, oh man, it's
like, wait a minute, I don't remember.
Yeah. I played a set.
It's more like seeing the artist like, have all these emotions and just like transform it into like the audience and you feel it. So
like an empathic response almost.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Okay.
I like seeing somebody put their energy out there and like responding to it.
Respect. I can respect that. I
wiggling sounds.
I do love.
Air.
It's crazy how the wiggly air can make you cry.
I know.
I played a set recently in Cincinnati for Crystal Eternal called Local Frequencies, and there's a track towards the end of the set. It's like one of the only tracks in the entire set that actually has vocals. And it's just this extremely poignant song in Spanish with these really like kind of arcane lyrics. And it's just very, very moving, and that's probably like the last time I had like a cry response to an art.
Something did just come to me. It probably wasn't the last time, but it's something that was really significant to me. Was Summer Slush Fest.
That was a wonderful night.
I was having an awful trip on mushrooms,
Ooh.
and
I'm sorry.
I came out, and Liam Imkopav was up there as obelisks. And like I stood front and center for it, and like from start to finish, it completely transformed my experience, and I remember being moved to tears and just feeling so much better.
Wow.
And like I don't know, it just completely rewired my brain in the moment.
Was that the set where he had the welder's mask on?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and be like, damn, like this guy he's about to do some crazy shit right now.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to expect. It was just like as soon as I got there, I was just like, because I wasn't feeling great. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't belong here. And then all of a sudden, I was just like washed over by sound. I was like, I'm glad that you had that. Great.
I will be right back.
That's definitely what comes to mind.
Yeah, my next question actually was going to be like, is there any cool short stories that happened, during live shows? And I feel like that one you already answered.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Is there any other moments, like any other live events where you're just like, it's been such like a core memory for you?
Definitely the floppy Eggman.
Yeah. The floppy Eggman.
Just because that was such an in and out memory too. I don't know. I don't remember. I drank so much so fast. I was like trying to, because I used to get really anxious at shows, so I try to drown that out. But I drank too much too fast, and I was just like flopping all over the place, and like I remember just like banging my knees against the stage. I don't know why. I was just like trying to lean forward. It was just like right at knee level, and I just kept hitting my knees. I didn't realize until like 2 days later.
Yes!
Yeah, there you go.
Yes!
It's real. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's perfect. I'm so glad you got that out. Amazing.
I got home.
There you go.
I got home 2 days after that show, and I looked down at my knees, and they were like black and blue. I'm like, what the hell did I do?
Oh man, I'm just reading the chat. I'm sorry. We got some real jokesters in chat. Let me turn this track down. It's a little hot. Did you ask a question while I was grabbing another drink?
Oh no, we were just talking about like if there's any more experiences that he had.
I got you.
Like anything that moved him like
I
during
think
the
that I also think of the last econ during FM Skyline set.
Oh
I was
yeah,
just,
very nice.
I was also munching on mushrooms at the time. And I just remember like just the music's playing and I'm watching the sunset over Knockdown Center. I'm just like, I think it was the first time I was just like, this is where I belong. Like
I'm
I
so
found my
glad.
people, I found my community, I found a purpose. It was just like I feel great. So
I
that's
love
something that definitely
that.
sticks out with me because it was like, it was. I want to say it was Shadows that was playing. Like it hadn't been released yet. I might be wrong, but I think it might have been like teasing the album before it came out.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, definitely Econ in general. I loved all the memories around that.
It was a very special couple of days. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that was like especially like the round balls that people were throwing, the beaver balls, yeah.
The ones
And
that
that's why I was
immediately
inspired
flew up
at
and got
I2K
stuck.
to throw them, yeah.
Shout out I2K, man.
Very
Can't wait for
cool.
the next one.
Fun event, yeah, for sure.
So who would you say, in the vaporwave scene would you consider like an idol or somebody that you really look up to?
Jesus, these questions are good.
Bruh.
I mean, I definitely have a lot of friends that I admire, that I look up to. Like, again, in Kumpav, Liam, I definitely admire his authenticity and to just be able to put himself out there and bear all of himself out there in all kinds of music, whether it's like ambient or noise or just like really.
You'll never know what you're going to expect with an
Exactly,
set.
but it's 100% genuine, and I love that. I admire Frank a lot too. Just the ability to just be genuine.
Agreed.
I think that's what I really strive for as a musician, because I hold back a lot. I get on stage and I wish that I did a little bit more, but I strive and I really admire for that authenticity, that genuineness, to be yourself.
Being vulnerable is difficult, man. In every single facet of the concept.
I think that's important, especially as a creative. I struggle to remember myself, but I think it's important that if you're creative, that you be a little bit cringe. That you're willing to be a little bit weird. Because, I mean, as long as you're not being like...
I am free.
Yeah, to be cringe is to be free. And as long as you're not being creepy or weird or harmful, I think as long as you'll find that for everybody that condemns you for being cringe, there's always somebody that celebrates you for being authentic. Mm-hmm. And you'll find that cringe and authenticity are two sides of the same coin.
Honestly, in this era of, I don't even know how I want to start describing it, but I feel like there's a lot of hate against like cringe. Everything's cringe and
post-ironic society,
bro. There you go. All the smoke and mirrors. Like you can't tell your friends, "Good job. I loved what you just did just there. I'm proud of you."
Right.
Like that's too cringe. And I'm not going to paint with a broad brush and say everybody's on that wave, but it's refreshing to have people just be straightforward and vulnerable and bare their soul. It's meaningful. That's how connections are made. That's how people are uplifted.
Sure, yeah.
That's how bonds are strengthened.
I mean, it's easy to pretend to be everybody else. It's being yourself that really sets you apart. It makes you memorable.
If you do that, man, and you do genuine work that's like, cringe or whatever, it's authentic. People notice authenticity, and then it helps them to also not be afraid to be authentic.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
all it takes is one cringe person.
Like I said, yeah,
you have a cringe
inspiring.
Yeah. All right.
I want you to go a little bit more. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Let's hear it.
I want you to go a little bit more because you recently just came back from a month in Japan. You were
touring
you're
right.
with Sage Hardware and did a couple of shows.
Oh
and
yeah,
I know,
thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, shout out Sage Hardware. I'm so happy to have been a part of that.
Yeah, I want you to especially with you being like vulnerable on stage because you're so, you haven't done many performances live. You've just mainly been doing this, basically doing your music in a bedroom for, since you were a teenager.
In the last decade, yeah.
Yeah, and like actually, having people listen to that live. tell us like a little bit more about like how that was for you in Japan. Like what was like what did it feel like for you to perform?
Honestly, performing in Japan definitely revitalized my interest in playing live.
Awesome.
Because up until then, I was very much like, I think I should just hang up music. I don't think I'm built for this. I don't think I've got like stage present. I don't think I have it within me to like bear myself like that. And then the Sage Hardware tour, I got to play in Tokyo, and it was mostly a bunch of friends, but it was also, you know, a couple of unfamiliar faces. But everybody had the same, like, it was a very positive response. Everybody was like, you know, I love the sound. I wasn't expecting it. You know, it's very nostalgic. You know, I got a lot of positive feedback, and it reminded me that, you know, I may not see it at the time, but people appreciate it when you're willing to put yourself out there and create something.
Hell yeah, they
And
do.
so that whole experience definitely just made me. I don't know. I felt reborn after that. I felt like I could do it. I wasn't nervous anymore. I got up there, and the next thing I know, like halfway through the set, it was just I was going through the motions, and I was just playing, and I was having a good time. And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. I definitely could have done better. I could have been more active and more engaging, but I think it was a great time. I think it definitely showed me what I needed to continue to produce. It reminded me that I'm doing this for a reason.
I love that. So my thought, or my question, I mean, is out of everything you've made thus far, what do you like the best?
I'm not sure, because I mean, are we talking like specific tracks or just like as projects?
Answer that however you want.
I don't know. I feel like I've spent a lot of time making chiptune. Of course, I love the chiptune sound, but I want to move. I want to move in a different direction. I don't want to be defined by genre or sound. I just want to be able to make stuff for the sake of making it. And I feel like some of my newer stuff where I've branched out of my comfort zone and broken out of those prior limitations and tried something new, I feel like those have turned out to be the best.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
I can't think of I'm working on a new project right now. It's more in the direction of like synth, like MIDI wave stuff.
Ooh,
And I'm really happy.
I'm
really happy with it because I've been able to experiment with more sounds as feelings, being able to channel them into different sounds.
That'll be good.
Play with different things. So I feel like that's been my favorite so far. I played a little bit about that in Japan. I got some good feedback on it, and I was happy with it. So I'd have to say that's my favorite. The newer stuff I'm making, it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave us something to look forward to. Good.
Yeah. He'll be releasing that very soon.
Actually, I have yeah, I'll wait till the end.
Okay. Terrific.
No spoilers. Well, I do want to go a little bit more into like you performing live because, you know, you spending a month in Japan. If you want to also go more into like how that was for you, like a whole, like most people spend like a week, maybe 2 weeks in Japan, but you spent a whole month. How was that for you?
Yeah, that must have been rad.
That was a great experience. I mean, I went last year with Sage Hardware on the tour. We only spent like 2 or 3 weeks there, but this, you know, being able to spend a whole month. It was like an extra 2 weeks outside of the tour too. It was very easy to get in the routine. It felt nice. It, you know, especially compared to back home, it's nice being able to walk out, hop on a train, go somewhere completely new, and just be unrestricted, unhindered, and just experience something abroad. I really like that.
I'm very happy for you. I'm jealous as hell too, but very, very happy.
I definitely felt. I mean, I think that whole experience was definitely crucial in finding my way in music again. Because I've definitely struggled with feeling like an imposter. Like I'm just kind of faking it. I'm just.
Oh, we all do, man.
Attempting to fit in, but it's like I don't know, something about being out there, and it was very inspiring. Especially because over there, it's not about the money. It's about the art. Because they've got smaller venues and smaller shows and promoters, and it's, you know, they're not going to sell out to like 300 people. You'll get like 50 people packed into a room, and all the money that's made is made to make sure the venue can keep the lights on and make sure that the artists are getting paid a decent amount. So it's definitely very much for the love of the game rather than just feeding a Live Nation bank account or something like that.
The love of the game. All right, Avon Barksdale. So, do your family and your friends listen to your work?
I kept it to myself for the longest time. But I think I've recently shared. I don't know how far they've listened to it, but as far as my family goes, I've definitely shared my music a little bit. Like I think when I released my album, I was like, here's a link, listen to it if you want.
Love that. What kind of feedback did you get?
I don't think I got any, to be honest.
Oh.
Now that I think about it, like I sent my mom the link, and she's like, "I'll listen to it when I get the chance."
The CD's still wrapped, sitting on top of a doily.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yes, honey, I loved it. It's like still in the shrink wrap.
Yeah. On that note, my family's been incredibly supportive about what I do. They're very
That's
happy
good.
to see that
I
I'm
love that.
making stuff and I'm going places. So I can't complain there. I mean, they may not listen or understand. It is what it is. It's a very niche genre, But I'm incredibly lucky to have that level of support throughout the whole experience. I mean, my dad's always been like, whenever I perform, he's like, send me videos, I want to see. And like, actually, my dad's always talking about me making music. He was telling my old
That's
coworkers
awesome.
that I was over in Japan making performing chiptune, and they I don't know, everybody seems very very happy to hear that I'm making stuff.
That's awesome.
Well, I can't complain about that. I'm very lucky.
So I want to ask you something, just change gears a little bit. Is there like any favorite trend that you're listening to like right now? Your favorite trend in music? Like any sound that you heard?
I mean, it's definitely not a current trend. I love the pan flutes.
Yes.
I love hearing pan flutes and vaporwave.
Yeah.
Pan flute is,
or in like
is
any
top
music.
5 favorite sounds for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Windows 96 for those.
For sure,
fan
yeah.
flutes.
The Windows 96 sound.
Twilight
I
synth
think
or
that's-
whatever.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that comes to mind other than that, but definitely the pan flutes. They're like the
Can't get
I
enough
love
of
the
that.
direction of like Vaporwave Zero, the Vaporwave Zero boys.
Same.
Hell yeah! Shout out Van
I love-
Gogh.
Yeah, I love that chill kind of like vapor hip hop sound.
I need to hear more material from Simple Syrup. I don't know what that
For
boy's
sure,
been
yeah.
doing lately, but I need some JC money.
Yeah,
man.
we were hanging out with John, Christ, and Frank last week, and he was talking about Simple
Sick.
Syrup's music because he heard like the original sample.
Yeah, it was a sample, and he's like, "Who sampled this?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
not
funny.
sure. And it was Simple Syrup.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, I tell you what, can't get enough pan flute. I'm so glad you picked that one, dude. So let me ask you this: going back to like your teacher that played the same Enya album every day for 5 years, when you hear something that you like, how many times do you listen to it? Like before, like do you listen to it on repeat? Have you ever like ruined a song because you listened to it too many times? Is that
For
just an
sure.
Isaac thing? Like,
I'll listen to it until I can't listen to it anymore.
wow.
Like on repeat. I've always been like that. I'll just sit there and loop the same thing. I'll loop
Wow.
the same handful of tracks. I remember one time, in high school, I had stayed up for like 60 hours at the time. I had like really bad sleep issues.
Ooh.
But one of the times I'd stayed up, I was listening to Mr. Roboto by Styx.
Oh, that song's great.
And I listened to it for 11 hours straight. I don't think I can listen to it anymore.
That's what made that's part of what made you who you are.
Right? Yeah.
11 hours of Mr. Roboto by Styx.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. It was like I was in a weird delirious state, and just like hearing the song every 3 minutes, re-loop. I was just like, it kept me awake.
I think I could do Come Sail Away for 11 hours, but I don't know about Mr. Roboto.
It was just, I don't know, it was goofy music.
Man, I
I unironically like Styx though. I fuck with
I
them.
like Styx as well, man. I'm not super familiar with their deep cuts, but like I like their singles. And When I find something I like, man, I have to ration that shit out. Like
Really?
I have to, yes, absolutely. I have to, and that's part. One good thing about crate digging is I'm constantly pulling new material in. So like sometimes something will get a little bit buried in there, and I'll come back to it and be like, "Damn, I slept on this." Other times it's like, all right, I'm only going to allow myself to listen to this once a day, or like, just, I don't know. There's no predefined rule, but I definitely try to not ruin anything.
Well, how
I
do
don't
you know, like,
care.
when a song grabs you? What makes you want to listen to, Styx for 11 hours straight? What part of the song
Terrific
is just like,
question.
That's a great question. I don't know. I like when songs have like those catch, like blink or you'll miss it moments where it's like they'll have like a subtle change or something, or just like a small pattern that'll repeat. And
I feel that.
I love looping music just to hear that one crucial moment.
mm,
So I think that was definitely part of it. Was like I liked where it would go into the break and he would start saying "Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto," and I'd sit there and I'd loop that and I'd love it. But yeah, I try to do that in my music a lot. I try to have those real short, like just happens once in the song moments. So it's like I don't know. It's on one hand it's replay value. On the other hand, it's just like I love.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I love listening. I love listening to things and just like waiting for them. Like this is the moment. This is the best part, and then and then it's gone.
It's funny that we're talking about this because we talked about why rhythm sucks is because it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're creating the opposite experience where this little leitmotif happens once or twice, and it's like low-key the moment that you're looking forward to, and then when the 3.5 or so minute song is over, you're like, I'm gonna go do it again. So I can do that one part, because instead of it just being like over and over and over and over, you have to wait for it,
Right.
I guess.
It's a reward.
It's a reward.
was there anything that like ruins a song for you? Like, other than like listening to something for 11 hours? Because, yeah, I mean, that would ruin anything for somebody.
Hilarious. Great question.
I'm not sure. I don't think there's been many things that ruined it. I don't know. I've not been too much of a fan of like spoken word over music.
Interesting.
Okay.
To be honest, like if there's a point where like the music stops and the rhythm stops and the melody stops and it's just like somebody talking for a little too long, it's like, all right, well, I don't want to. I kind of want to get back into the fun part.
I feel like it works sometimes with more like experimental and like abstract
sure.
pieces of music. Like Alicia Crampton, Chukiima has like some tracks where like she has just these weird monologues of people, and I think that they're like kind of like esoteric sounding, and like I like that shit. But I think I feel what you mean. I famously don't like skits in music, so I guess maybe that's kind of along the same lines.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
I
hear
love skits in music. I love like Eminem skits.
See, and like to me that's
I
more
hate,
like
I hate when
Yeah.
albums interrupted for a skit, and it's like it's got its own place.
Yeah, bro. It's like this
No,
isn't
I
a
love
movie. This
them.
isn't a comedy sketch. I want to hear the music. But
Okay,
maybe I'm
but
just
then-
enough, though, I love
too white.
like Tenacious D that does exactly the same thing. So it's like it's kind of hit or miss.
Oh yeah,
But
I
then
mean at the end of the day,
so
like
are you
there's
more
no
of an
pattern.
album person, or like just like a playlist person? Because like
I'm definitely-
especially with like Eminem, he does like skits. You have to like listen to the whole album to like understand the
That's a
skit,
good
the beginning,
point.
the middle, and the end. So
I'm definitely
know-
a playlist person. I've got a
Me
low
too.
attention span. I want to be an album person, and like every now and then, like I'll try to listen to an album, but like I don't know, I'll be halfway through a Steely Dan album or something. I'm just like, I want something different.
Funny.
So it's like I just gotta move to something different.
Dude, that's me as fuck, man. Like I guess maybe that's why I'm a DJ. I like the shuffle button way too much. Don't get me wrong,
sure.
I do love concept albums. I do love listening to an album start to finish, especially if it's like
Gotta
a
be the right mood,
flawless
though.
album. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I got a question for you, brother. So let me ask you, how do you feel about Christmas music? We've been talking about like lighthearted kind of comedic. What are your thoughts?
It depends. I don't think I. It's funny that you mention it because fucking Paul McCartney's "Wonderful Christmas Time" has been stuck in my head for the last week,
It's an amazing song.
and I love it. Honestly, I'm not,
I will
I'm
hear
not even
no
complaining.
hate for Wonderful Christmas
Right.
Time.
I'm not really much of a Christmas music enjoyer, but there's a couple of songs that like I really like that one in particular.
Wham! Last
Last
Christmas.
Christmas
Yeah.
fucks. Both of those
Yeah, it
songs are
does.
awesome. Like
Yeah.
so
What's so
singable.
sad is that he died on Christmas Day.
You got to be playing. I
Really?
didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't
Yes.
notice
that's
that.
terrible.
He died on
Damn.
Christmas Day, and one of his popular songs was Last Christmas. So it's like,
Damn.
yeah, I don't know. Funny how fate works, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sad as fuck. I hate that. All right. Well, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess some people, especially people who work in retail, have some strong opinions about Christmas
Oh,
music.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't
God,
imagine.
yeah.
I can't. I'm in a store for like maybe 20 minutes and I'm already sick of the Christmas music. But there's just a few that like I really enjoy.
Man, Alexander O'Neill's what is it? I can't remember the name of it. He's got a whole album of Christmas songs, and he's got one that's like just terrific. I'll find it. I'll drop that heat later on.
Oh,
I think it's called Remember Why It's Christmas. Yeah.
I want to ask something. So, obviously your mustache is it's a lot of upkeep, right? A lot
Yeah,
of
for sure.
a lot of men compliment you a lot. That's like, it's like, when women are like, oh my God, your outfit's so cute, your hair's so cute. But men, it's like, your mustache is cute. I can't, how many
Sometimes
times
they don't have to say anything. They'll just fist bump.
He didn't grow up for the women.
So I want you to like tell us, tell the audience about like your, how do you take care of that magical, beautiful mustache?
What a
of
question.
yours?
I mean, I gotta keep it oiled. Keep it
Okay.
moisturized. But it's usually just a lot of twisting. I just keep twisting it and sleeping on it the right way.
Do you ever put wax in it?
Make sure. Sometimes I don't really like the way it looks with wax in it.
Yeah. Fair.
I also don't like the way
2012.
I mean, I'll do it sometimes if it's like being a little uncooperative, but I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like feeling the wax on my face.
I don't know if you're doing it a little bit different now than the last time I saw you in real life, which I think was March.
Yeah,
But you've almost got like some Wario vibes going on today.
So funny
Like
you said
yeah,
that.
for sure.
The end of it, just like I remember it being more of like a gradual kind of like Luigi-esque.
Yeah.
Now it's you've got like some jagged like Wario.
It's
shit
too
going
long for
on.
its own good. I just recently trimmed it today because before
Unreal.
it was
That's a
curling, it was
trim?
curling forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had bull horns. It was like curling forward, and I was like, all right, well, I
Ooh,
gotta trim it
okay.
up a little bit.
Wow.
It's funny that
Respect.
you mentioned that. I was talking to Tiffany not too long ago about how like when I was growing up, I was like, a Mario character mustache. And I was gonna have a Waluigi mustache, and that's exactly what it looks like when I wax it. It's just straight up.
Nice. A Waluigi mustache.
Yeah.
That's too good.
But
Awesome.
yeah, it's a lot of work. I'll spend like an hour just playing in the mirror, twisting it, trimming it, spot trimming it. The hardest part is making sure it's even on both sides, because I think even now I'm a little bit thinner on one side than the other.
She had me
It drives
fooled.
me insane. It just feels weird. I can't describe it. I know something's wrong, and I can't do anything about it.
Oh, that's hilarious. So when you make your music, like maybe this is just a me thing, but when I listen to instrumental music of any kind, right, I typically have an experience where I'm kind of imagining a visual that accompanies it. Maybe it's like a vague concept, or sometimes like I know exactly like this song sounds like an alien invasion. Like, do you have a particular visual that accompanies a lot of your music?
Oh, for sure. I mean, one track that comes to mind. I mean, like when I was writing Hypnagogic, I imagined each track as a character.
Oh,
They
that's
were like
awesome.
walking out into the sunset, and like as a new sound came in, a new character joined the party, and they're just like walking off, like dancing around or something like that.
So like if
So
you
I
made a
do-
music video for that song, that's how it would look.
Exactly, yeah. I remember very distinctly. It was just I don't know. It does create a very distinct visual theme. Like
Glad
I
it's
think
not
that's just
just me.
throughout all my music. No, definitely. That's what makes my favorite music. It's not necessarily a particular sound or particular genre. It's can it create a visual in my head. Like that's what I love music. Like I'd listen to music and I'd create my own music videos in my head.
Me
or
too.
something like that.
Awesome.
And
That makes me feel so validated. Like, I don't know if you guys do that too in chat, but if you do, run it up because like I love to do that shit.
Yeah, that's what made my favorite songs. Was like, does it create a theme or a story in my head? If it's just like radio music and I don't really feel anything, it's like, well, I don't really want to listen to it.
Well,
Phil.
like when I hear your song Eyes, I think of it sounds like a banjo to me. It's giving me like, Cuphead, like walking vibes. I don't know, like the Mickey Mouse, like walking sequence, but cup.
Oh, like
That's
the rubbery animation style.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
that's
name for
when
that aesthetic, and I can't remember what it is.
You have to let me know what it is, because that like anytime I hear that, I'm just like, it sounds like it's not a banjo like sample, but it just sounds like very, very, I don't know,
twangy.
like yeah, twangy, very bouncy, and I just think of Cuphead when I hear
That kind of rubbery.
Yeah.
You want to get
With,
one more question in before we go to the audience submitted questions tonight?
Yeah. One more question would be about adding vocals to your music, because a lot of your music that you have released on Bandcamp and SoundCloud has just been instrumental, but when you performed in Japan, you did it live, you had vocals for the first time.
Oh,
You have lyrics with
really?
your-
Yeah, so actually,
that's awesome.
almost all of my music actually has a lyrical element to it, but it's very. Whereas the music is bouncy and bubbly, the lyrics are very darker and existential. So I don't know. I haven't not until recently. I haven't felt very comfortable putting that out there. I also kind of don't want to betray the theme that people have already gotten used to. So, I mean, as of recently, I've kind of found the vessel in which I want to put that out there. I want to do, I did, like when I was in Japan, I did a vocoder, and it felt like it was part
that's
of the
too
instrumental.
cool.
So it wasn't like lyrics layered on top of the music. It felt like it was one cohesive part. So, I mean, I definitely want to get lyrics out there because it's very important. Because like as I'm making the music, the important thing about making music to me is that I'm locking a feeling into it. Like whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, I'm storing it in there, and then I'm tucking it away, and I'll feel it whenever I want to listen to that song.
Like distilling it.
Exactly. So I think it's important for me to like fully put everything into it and not hold back. I mean that's kind of part of the stage performance. The aspect of it is finding the confidence to be able to put that whole lyrical aspect into it.
I love that.
I mean,
That's so
especially with chiptune,
badass, dude.
because even with chiptune, like you don't have a lot of like chiptune with vocals.
The
So, I mean,
Depreciation
it's-
Guild.
Right.
Can't think of
It's
anybody
just-
else.
It's hard to get it to mesh. So I don't know. I struggled with it for a long time, but I think I'm finding the path. I just, like I said before, it's very dark contrast compared to the sound. And I've always worried about bringing people down while they're listening to fun, bouncy music. Which is, I don't know, it's something it's just my thing, I guess. So,
I mean, Pumped
think
Up
I'm
Kicks famously has some pretty dark lyrical content.
exactly.
For such a happy
That's
sounding
definitely
song.
something that comes to mind, yeah.
All
I think that's what I want
right.
to do ultimately, though.
We're going to start the audience submitted portion of the interview. And we've got a question already waiting. You guys run up those questions in chat, please, so we can get to know Smoothbrain. You guys can pick that Smoothbrain. Archangel wants to know, you mentioned nightcore and techno earlier in the episode. Have you heard of the genre hands up before? If so, any thoughts?
I've heard of it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever actually listened to it. I mean, I'm sure it's come through in my mixes, and I just haven't realized.
And I know that Archangel described it to me, but I just forgot what it
I know
was.
it's very similar. I'm sure it's ended up in my mix, and I just haven't really noticed it distinctly. But
It's probably something
no.
I just don't know. Okay, Cascada and Bass Hunter.
oh, okay. Well then,
Like-
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Classic
I know exactly
night
what you're talking about
tunes
then.
sped
Yeah.
up. Wait a minute. So you speed up the already sped up tracks?
I guess hands
Bro,
up is
that's
the unnightcore
enough.
version.
Who nightcored my nightcore? Oops, all nightcore. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Luxury Noise. Now that we know you aren't a deep Sonic person, are there other game baddies you wish you looked more like?
It's funny that you mentioned Wario, because like I said, I always wanted to.
Wario
have
is
a
so cool.
distinctive Wario mustache, yeah.
Wario's great, dude. Until Waluigi came into existence, Wario was my favorite character from the Super Mario universe. But Waluigi doesn't have any actual games. He's just in
He's just lacking
multiplayer games. He's not even real.
I like him because he's purple. That's my favorite color.
Yeah, he's definitely the cooler looking of the two. I wish they would just make a Waluigi game. Come on, Nintendo. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It's of course, if it's a good idea, they won't do it. But
yeah, I used to play a lot of Waluigi Flash games back in the day.
Okay, I didn't realize there were Waluigi Flash games. I've aged out of that, but
do you remember the Bush Flash games? I used to play those all the time. You don't remember?
So. Oh, Hazel's coming through your background.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she was on my cat
that's
tree
too
behind
cute.
me.
How funny. She was bleeding through your background for a second there. Bort, great guy. Love that guy. He said, you dedicated your recent album to Tiffany. I'm assuming it might be the same Tiffany here. How would you describe that creative relationship? And what do you appreciate in feedback as you're working on finalizing your tracks? It's a long question.
Yeah, I put Tiffany in as a special thanks because as I was trying to finalize it, I definitely sent her a lot of stuff. Does this sound good? Does it sound bad? Is it ear piercing? Is it something you wouldn't like?
Did you give him honest feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Good.
100%. I sent her one of my tracks recently, and she's like, "I don't like it. I like all your other music. I don't like it. It sounds like it's made for children. It sounds like a Coco Melon type beat." And I'm like,
a Coco Melon type beat.
Down.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I've changed it up since then. Like, I appreciate the honest feedback, but it's something that just
Coco Melon type beat. I'm putting that on Blue Sky right fucking now.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it wasn't a Caillou type beat. He's bald too.
Oh no, not Caillou. No.
I've never been afraid to share with her at least. Like, I know I'll get honest feedback. And even if like she doesn't quite understand what she's trying to say, she'll because she's a music enjoyer but not a music producer, not a creator.
Same.
So she'll like, it sounds like this, and I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, what is it? What am I supposed to do with that? But we worked through it slowly, and I feel like at the end of the day, the music is better getting that feedback.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's like when you're mastering stuff, I'll like notice stuff about certain parts of the song, and I don't know how to like describe like it's the drums, it's this part. I don't know what that's really called. I just know like it's the thing at 37 seconds that I just don't like. It's in my left ear and it sounds like it's over top of my head. Can you fix that? And he's like, I don't know what that means.
That's funny.
I'm just like it's the sound stage. You just like when I personally visualize music, I visualize it like over my head, in my head. Like I don't know if that's the same for other people, but like when I'm listening to music, it's like I can hear like when something is like not center.
So you don't like panned music?
I like panned music. It's not an issue with that. It's like when I hear like a part of the album, like they're like the drums are only on my left side and they're not on the right, or they're very low on the right. And I'm just like, I hear that. And he's like, I don't know what.
And that's always a challenge too, because I love panning my music. I try to do like things in two different stages, and she's like, it doesn't sound right. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's supposed to be like that. But most of the time, I'll export it and I'll look at the wavelength, or I'll double check it. I'm like, oh, I see what she means now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is.
You got to get feedback from the hoi polloi, man.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. That's why I dedicated her in the special thanks. I definitely would not have published that album if I didn't get that feedback. If I wasn't just forced to, I would just throw it out there.
And never underestimate the power of like a remaster. So Luxury Noise recently remastered his album Forgive Yourself, and it sounds completely different from the original Fire Tools masters. Like, I liked the original album, but we did a sit-down listen to the new remaster, and like there's some tracks where parts that got lost in the mix just absolutely pop in different ways. It's like completely reorganizing a living room. We're moving a bunch of pieces in the chessboard around, and it's just like, wow. I'm kind of envious of the fact that people could just like move the parts of their songs around and prioritize certain, parts over others. I wish I could do that with all of the music I listen to.
That's what takes me so long to produce. It's just like I get so hung up on like moving things around. Like, oh, does it sound better like this? Does it sound better like that? And then I've got two different versions that I'm just equally in love with.
How do you feel like artists would feel if they could give their fans their stems, and their stems could like create their fans could create their own. Like, I guess it would probably take a lot of know-how. So crowdsourcing mastering probably couldn't be like a real thing, but I don't know. It's crazy how many moving parts there are and how many different arrangements you can possibly have. I'm sure there's general rules you want to follow.
There.
Yeah, like obviously, you know, there's general rules you want to follow, but like it's just crazy how many different ways a song can sound.
100%.
Keep those questions coming, guys. We got another 20 roughly minutes with Smoothbrain tonight. Don't sleep on Smoothie.
Ask him while I'm here.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Let's see. I had a question that I was not going to ask, and let me find. Okay. Let me ask you this. If you had to choose an album, an honorary vaporwave album that was made before the 2000s, you got to pick one before the 2000s and make it an honorary vaporwave album. What are you going to pick?
That's a good question.
I don't even know how I would answer that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think there's much that I can think of that would be like as is. Well, I mean, I'm sure plenty of like Brian Eno stuff would definitely fit as an honorary vaporwave album. You know what? If I had to say something, I'd say is that the name of the album? Here Come the Warm Jets. Whatever album that's from, if that's not the name of the album.
I'm not.
I feel like that has a
familiar.
very vaporwave-esque. I can't remember if that's the
hear
name of the album or not.
Probably really
I know it's like
hypnagogic
the last.
sounding.
Yeah, I love it because it's just like droning guitars, and then the drums come in really fast. And I feel like if I had to say anything, I'd say that track specifically, that kind of album.
Yeah, that's November 1973. Here Come the Warm Jets.
Is that the album? Okay.
Luxury Noise
Yeah.
is familiar.
Yeah,
He's
I knew it was the name of the
he's talked about
track.
it in
I couldn't remember if that was the name of the album too.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I would say that. I feel like that's got a lot of sounds in it that I would say could be vapor adjacent.
I'm gonna have to check that out since I'm a Philistine. I've never heard Here Come the Warm Jets.
One of my favorites.
Well, if it's one of your favorites, I definitely gonna have to listen. Archangel, another question: how would you describe your music to a new friend?
Easiest, I always just say video game music. Nobody ever understands chiptune, and I can't be like, oh, it's music made with hardware. It's this Nintendo music. Just like think video game music, Nintendo music, and that usually gets the point across. And then I'll show them more. But I think just recently I had somebody that I was like, this is chiptune. He's like, oh my god, I've never heard anybody understand what chiptune is before.
Oh, how funny!
So it's just like first person IRL. That's just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel like chiptune, like, not to denigrate chiptune, but I feel like it is often kind of a gateway drug. I feel like chiptune is relatively, at least to people who seek out music, it's relatively well known. Like, kind of like if you do the iceberg thing, I feel like chiptune's in the middle, maybe.
Right.
You know, like so. Everyone knows who. Well, not everyone, but Onemonoguchi. I mean. The Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. Come on, like
I think
there's a decent amount of chiptune and Wreck-It Ralph. Like
not their latest album. I listened to Onemonoguchi's latest album. I did not like it. It was not chiptune. It was like shoegaze. I didn't like it.
You don't like shoegaze? Hang on.
It's okay, but like when I think of Onemonoguchi, I think of chiptune.
That's
okay.
Fair.
Have you heard the latest album? Because
okay. So I'm gonna up the ante. I'm not an Onemonoguchi fan. I've seen him live. Okay. I'm just not crazy about him. Yeah, they're not bad. They're nice guys. Just I don't know. Like it's just not my thing. I mean, I mentioned Depreciation Guild. Have you ever heard Depreciation Guild? No.
I think so.
Do you ever hear Ice Choir? Kurt Feldman?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Ice Choir? So before he did Ice Choir, he did, who, by the way, DVI did the album artwork for that Ice Choir album.
Oh.
Learned that just the other day. Depreciation Guild was like a shoegaze album with like chiptune sounds in it. And it works really well, surprisingly. Like more so than Sweet Trip in my opinion, but that's probably also a hot take. All right. So, another good question. Bort, when you think of albums like Equip's I Dreamed a Castle in the Sky that felt like a soundtrack for a very specific game, do you have an imagined game that you'd like to design a chiptune soundtrack? Like, what's the game you would envision?
It's funny that you mentioned that. When I first started making chiptune music, I was also working on like a bullet hell game.
Awesome.
Because I was in like
game.
computer science classes, and I did a lot of programming stuff like that. And I wanted to make like a shoot 'em up, like a bullet hell game, and it was all space themed, and it was like all the different bosses you had were based on different constellations.
Oh, that's too cool.
And like I realized I didn't really like so much the coding part, but I loved the music, making the music and designing the sprites. So I'd sit there and I'd make all kinds of little animations, and that's what the music was based around. Right? I'd make sprites based around the music. So yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I definitely like like along the lines of like Toho games. I love Toho.
I am not familiar with Toho.
I
should be.
It's like
I feel
it's like a Japanese bullet hell game. It's pretty popular.
I've heard of it. I don't think I played it.
I used to play it just because I didn't need an internet connection. I could load it up on a USB drive and just play it in school. Just sit there and
hard.
Waste time.
If you had a DeLorean and a flux capacitor, what year would you travel back or forward to, and why? Travel backwards, forwards.
I would definitely travel backwards. I don't want to see what horrors the future holds.
Yeah, valid.
I definitely travel backwards. I don't know. I think I don't have a specific year or time that I travel back to, but I think I go back to like the 70s or something. I'm definitely just a boomer in a zoomer's body. Go back to when all the shit that I grew up listening to was being made.
Right. I feel like the 70s was probably a very, based on what I've read, it was a pretty difficult era. But obviously we have rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't deny that. But like
Simpler,
as far as like musically, I mean, I'd like to go back to like mid 70s.
I would like to see some of those films that were made in the 70s live at the theater.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I feel like 70s cinema is probably some of the best.
Yeah.
Like seeing Star Wars like in the movie theater in like 77. Like that would have been an experience.
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta ask, what's your favorite one-hit wonder, Mr. Boomer and his Zoomer body?
Favorite one-hit wonder. I don't know. I immediately think of Aha. I immediately think of Take On Me.
Oh, nice.
But they had a lot more music.
Singable.
They had a lot more music that I did enjoy.
Oh, there's other songs besides just Take On
Me.
Yeah,
believe it or not, yeah.
I've not heard them. I should. I'm sure they're delightful.
Yeah, that's my immediate thought is Aha. I like Manhattan Skyline. That's another popular one that they did.
Wow. Yeah, I live under a rock, man. At some point I'm gonna have to check out. I have to just go through my list of like classic rock and like one hit wonders and be like, what's the second most played song on Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Spotify, but
Yeah.
It's funny thinking about Aha too, because it was like they went through so many iterations of like different bands before because the Take On Me had like 3 different versions before it finally became the version that
I didn't realize this
blew up. Yeah,
wow.
I think I recently watched like a little video essay or something about it. But
yeah, a lot of songs like one hit wonders. I've noticed that they were like we watched like a bunch of like YouTube like I don't know, he showed me a bunch of stuff. Like I didn't realize like my name's Tiffany. I didn't realize Tiffany's song in the 80s was a sample. I didn't realize that. I thought it was an original song. There's so many like one hit wonders that are using like they're like
just old music,
oh dude,
covers.
It's insane how many songs are just covers.
Yeah, I did not know that.
It's like they didn't hit in the 60s, so they're like, we'll just
you'd be like, again. Oh man, this artist, my favorite song by them, and it's like, oh, that's not the original version.
Yeah, like Whitney's song. It was actually originally like Dolly Parton.
Right. Wow.
My Heart Will Go On. So yeah. It's like, I mean, I think that's
Unreal.
probably the most popular one, but yeah, there's so many songs, and I feel like it's always like the one-hit wonders. Maybe
Yeah.
just in
I remember when
my
I heard
brief.
Kathy Dennis's "Touch Me All Night Long," I was like, "Oh, this song's amazing." And then I figured out somebody else did it. I can't remember who the original girl's name was, but it's like, in my opinion, it's like better. The original version is better. But I mean, hey, you know, shout out them for breathing new life into the track, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
Bruh,
interest.
keep the questions coming, you guys. We've got a few more minutes with Smoothbrain before we have to say goodbye. Until then, what's your favorite music-related memory?
I mean, I mentioned the Incopav thing. I was gonna say meeting Tiffany at the Death Dynamic Shroud show in Baltimore.
Oh, in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
that's
come
where
to
you.
Baltimore for the.
That's
yeah,
where you're
I live.
based
I live
out
in
of,
Baltimore.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, hard. Okay.
She had come down here to see. It was Esprit and Death Dynamic Shroud.
And Negi
Oh,
Jemmy.
that's terrific.
Yeah, Negi Jemmy.
Wow, what a
Yeah,
lineup. Damn.
we had known. I don't know. We sort of been acquainted through like Discord servers and stuff. But that's when we met and we hung out and.
Terrific.
Oh, that story.
Can I tell it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where I abandoned her in a.
Oh, is that the
Baltimore
one with the
trap
weird
house.
friend or whatever?
Yeah.
I sure hope that
We
friend
were
isn't
out to,
tuned
like-
in.
Yeah, that I'm sure not.
I've heard this
I don't, I
story.
don't, I don't talk to him anymore. But we were out until like 3 in the morning, and she's just like, "Well, I don't want to drive home right now, and I don't have a hotel or anything, so we're just like hanging out."
Yeah, for some
And,
reason, I usually get a hotel, but for some reason for that George Clanton show, I just like full send it. Didn't have a hotel, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I drove all the way from Pittsburgh to Baltimore.
Bruh.
Didn't have any plans. I don't know. I figured I was gonna crash in somebody's house, couch or
That's
something.
funny.
Yeah, so I'm just like, so I'm a little bit further out, and I was like, well, this house is close. We'll go there, and we were just hanging out. And it's my buddies in like a West Baltimore row home, not the greatest area. The house is kind of trashed. You were just hanging out on the couch, listening to, we put on Dark Life by DDS, and we're just talking, smoking,
Nice.
and whatnot. But I had a flight to Chicago the next morning at like 7 a.m.
That was the first Midwest Aesthetic, right?
No, I was meeting Ethan in Chicago for Groove Continental. For the Young
Okay.
Big Tour.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
So I was supposed to go to Chicago the next morning, and we're hanging out. I'm like, it's 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm
You're
just
a
like,
wild man.
I was like, I can't stay out any longer. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. And she's like, okay, and I leave. And like, I didn't follow up with her until Summer Synapse, like many months later. And I'm like, I'm sorry for leaving you at my friend's house. Like, I don't know, I've been meaning to apologize. She's like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, I just got up and left.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
like-
You just
like, I
drove
don't
home
know,
in the middle of the night.
No, okay, no, I didn't
No,
do that.
even funnier. No, she went and slept in a Walmart parking lot, which was literally 5 minutes up the road from my house.
I didn't know. It was the closest Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So the whole time I was like, my house is a little too far away, and then she came
I thought
up here
Baltimore
anyway.
was huge. I've never been. I'm gonna have to go at some point. It seems.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that wasn't
least
that
in the
wasn't
area
my
we were
smartest, my
That's
smartest
hilarious.
thing. And his friend, I didn't know anything about his friend, and I just like, I don't know, like I defaulted to talking about minidisc, and I was just showing him because at that show, to Tyler, I gave him a bunch of minidiscs. I
Oh,
made
too
one
cool.
for Negi Jimmy,
Yeah.
DDS, and
My first
George
minidisc.
Clanton. And
sick.
I gave him one.
Love that.
And so I was just like my default. So I was just talking to him for like a good bit, and it was like 5 in the morning. I'm like, okay, I need to figure out. And there was like no hotels or letting me stay anywhere.
Not
so I
at
was just
5.
like,
Yeah.
well,
Right.
I guess I'm just gonna sleep in my car. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just sleeping. I'll just sleep in a Walmart parking lot.
There you go.
And I didn't
Probably the
realize.
best place.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I just like in the back somewhere. Nobody would notice me, but yeah, I never do that. I try to like get a hotel. I'm not usually somebody that's gonna sleep in my car, but for some reason that
Yeah,
day
same.
I was just like, just gonna full send. Fuck it.
Oh, that's funny.
it worked out in the end, but I think it's funny. He just like literally abandoned
is
me
funny.
at his friend.
yeah, I just
his
got up and I was
friend's
like, see you
frat
later,
house.
and didn't say anything for months.
She'll be all right. She's an adult woman. She's got this. She goes to shows all the time by herself. She'll be fine.
That was like the first time we had ever met in person. Like I just seen his username on Discord, so I just
Right.
think that's kind of funny.
Roche Corp with the
Yeah, my
classic.
favorite memory.
Do you have any newer vapor adjacent artists that you've been fucking with?
I'd have to say back to Vaporwave Zero, boys. I think I've been listening to a little bit of Vesna.
I need to get into Vesna. I like what I've heard.
I think that's what comes to mind, because I haven't been really keeping up on Vaporwave, honestly. But I've been talking about the stuff I've been hearing from Vesna lately.
Honestly, man, I love
keeping
this.
Up with the Silk sounds.
Yeah, man, I love the new evolution of Vaporwave with the introduction of breaks. I've said it before. I think it. I mean, literally, someone said the think break saved Vaporwave. It's a joke, but
yeah, that's like a hero's shirt.
Yeah, a hero, Van Gogh, Satin Sheets, Simple Syrup, Vesna, Frezwave to an extent. Like I do love that. I need to get more into it.
I definitely love that sound. I love that newer direction of vapor adjacent music.
Yep, Luxury Noise. Almost forgot Luxury Noise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm never gonna hear the end of that one. So, last question before we wrap up. Bort Media, as a frequent showgoer, is there a region of the U.S. that's especially popping? Since you go to a lot of shows nationwide, what area might you suggest looking into a show?
I mean, I'm definitely biased towards the East Coast, just because that's where I'm based. Everything's within vicinity there.
Yeah, all the cities are so close together too.
Oh, sure, yeah. I hop on the train and go anywhere, along the Eastern Seaboard. I think the most fun I've had though has definitely been in the Midwest.
Wow.
Between Midwest Aesthetic and Nostalgia Lounge, between Wisconsin and Ohio, have been my favorite shows.
Yeah, they have been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I think it's just a different energy out there. I think they crave the party. So
yeah, I can
it's
see that.
Definitely much better out there. I don't feel like I don't know, here in like Baltimore, Philly, New York, you got a lot of like high security venues, a lot of cliquish behavior. I feel like you go out to the Midwest and it's just like have a drink and have fun.
Summer Synapse to this date is still one of the most like banging shows I've ever been to.
I know.
Yeah.
Just well put together,
solid
well
memory.
organized, just rock solid lineup. So many people came out. Oh man.
I hope
Shout
Ethan
out
does another
Wintermute.
one.
Me
Yeah.
too, man. He occasionally will
believe
text
there's something
me.
in the works for 2026.
I really hope he'll text me like 3 weeks after I texted him, and it'll be like rapid fire for like an hour. And I really want to see him put something else together. He's so damn good at it. He and Salem were so attentive to the details.
For sure. They definitely,
I2K is a close, also terrific
that's
show.
what makes a good event though. When the promoters and those throwing the events are going out of their way to make it an experience and not just a concert.
That's why I like particularly Midwest Aesthetic and I2K, because the devil is in the details, but in a good way. Like
There's all kinds of interaction.
Well, man, we are down to our last 5, and during the last 5, we typically like to give that space to our guest. I know, right? It's been so much fun. And so what we like to do is we like to give you the floor. It kind of lets you shout out anyone you want to shout out, present or perform or, promote anything you want. Put us on, like my alliteration. So, yeah, the floor is yours, sir.
I definitely want to thank everybody in the audience and in the chat. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being a part of this. I want to give a shout out to all the homies, of course. Special shout outs to Sage Hardware, Bass House crew for putting me on and let me perform in Tokyo. Let me be part of the tour. Let me play shows. Speaking of which, we have a show coming up December 26th in Baltimore at Map Technologies. It's some DJ sets, some live sets. We've got J Drive. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm performing. We've got J Drive,
Nice.
Sir EU, Stage Hardware is gonna do a DJ set. I'm doing a live set, and then I'm also playing with a sort of like a shoegaze style band.
All right.
Playing keys for the first time, totally improvised. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Oh, you got
It's
this.
the first time ever playing with a band. So
Yeah, I don't know how. It's an experience, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, special shout outs to all the homies that have been along for the trip. Ethan Wintermute, Imco Pav, Frank Jevc, all the people that I've been able to just spitball ideas against and communicate and vent all my worries about music too. Special thanks to Hot Takes. What a wonderful community, and thanks for having me on and letting me talk about myself for 2 hours.
It's been fun. It's always delightful hanging out with you, and I always like to. I hope you don't, mind, but like I've always asked you kind of personal questions, like
Of course, yeah.
like I asked you about the headphones you wore, and just get to know you a little
Like
better.
hearing aids. Yeah.
Oh well,
One more thing, I do have a new project coming out soon where, like I mentioned, I'm trying to branch into the more synth and MIDI wave stuff.
Yes.
I think just right before we went live, I had posted 2 teaser tracks that I performed in Japan for the upcoming album. You can find them on my SoundCloud and Bandcamp.
Awesome.
The track's called Light and Somber.
Okay.
So definitely, love some feedback on those.
Definitely link that somewhere, whether the server or in chat or whatever.
I'll throw in the server for sure. I'll put
Please
it in
do.
the soft promo.
Please do. Hell yeah. Smoothbrain, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on our show and giving us 2 hours of your night. You've been a delightful guest, and it's been just very joyous getting to know you better and hearing the wisdom that you've given us tonight, that you've had to say. We usually kind of go into like what the upcoming guest is going to be and kind of like what we have coming up. Neither Tiff nor I are musicians. Any special projects or any shows you're going to be attending or anything that you want to put us on, Tiff, before I kind of finish the show out tonight?
Oh, for me. Well, obviously, check out the show on December 26th at MAP Technologies in Baltimore. It's like video games, so they have like you can play video games, Smash Bros, all that, and they're also gonna have a band performing live.
You gonna be there?
Yes, I'm gonna try to be there. Yeah.
Nice.
Just make sure you check out that. Any other shout outs?
Where do we follow you? Where do we find
good question, because I don't know. I'm sort of going through a transition period right now of like how I identify myself publicly. I guess I'll say it right now. I'm sort of separating myself from minidisc.wiki. I love the format, but I feel like I need to be myself. So if you want to follow me personally, guess right now you can always hit me up on Discord, shortstuff888. If you want to hit me up on Instagram, it's shortstuffcraft. I don't really post. I am considering posting maybe next year or something. I have an entire like vaporwave like living room and like amazing couches.
Would love to
like,
see
so
some
much
of that
like
content.
Yeah, and I'm on the other end where I'm like, I don't know if I want to feed this social media algorithm, because I'm sort of like hating it right now. But I also want people to see like all the stuff that I've collected for the past like decade or so. So yeah, just Short Stuff Craft, it would be my name. But yeah, if you want to hit me up there. Yeah, I guess that's it for me.
Very cool. Check out that Spotify playlist too. If you are interested in hearing something, whether you're a dubstep fan or you're like a vaporwave fan and you just don't know, you've never heard hardstyle in your life, check out that Spotify playlist that Tiff put together for us and broaden your horizons a little bit. You might love it. You might not, but that's okay. Check it out. She carefully curated that mix just for us so that we could get an idea of what her tastes are. And mine's coming next week.
Yeah, and there's a lot of tracks on. There's a handful of tracks on there that are not just all hard styles. It's dubstep. There's another one, Thasophobia. I'm not sure if pronouncing that right, but it's like an Irish jig. I don't know, like not an Irish jig, like a pirate. No, I don't know how to pronounce.
Sea shanty.
Sea shanty. Thank you.
No way.
I could not think of the word, but it's very good. I don't know.
Captain Jack song.
I
mean, I like Flux Pavilion, so like,
obviously Flux. I had to add
who
Flux.
doesn't like Flux Pavilion?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at the beginning of my playlist, I did have to hit you, hard.
You had to scare the host. I get it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it really is scare the host music at first, but trust me, if you continue on the journey, there's a lot of good gems. There's a Apache on there who does like brass orchestra with dubstep, so it's very theatrical.
Wow.
It's very virtual, and then also have some nightcore in there. So there's a lot of variation.
True. A little something for it's only 12 tracks too, so it's bite sized. Definitely something you could do in probably 30 to 45 minutes. I just played Local Frequencies, Nostalgia Lounge's Local Frequencies, and that was the 5th. Yeah, Friday the 5th, and I performed an hour-long experimental electronic DJ set alongside Crystal Eternal, Graveyard, and Glyphics. I did the opposite of host scaring music. Like, nobody was there because it was like midnight. But it was a very like special, poignant set to me because I asked them to move the table, and I sat the decks and my computer down on the ground, and I sat down crisscross applesauce, and I played an hour of weird kind of like fourth world music, aleatoric music, gulch ambient
Did you have a
music.
table?
No, I wanted, and I showed the video to a couple of my employees, and every single one of them were like, "They didn't even give you a table." I was like, it was part of the experience. My tailbone was hurting for like 5 days, but it was something that I felt like was I just needed to do an ambient set.
Yeah.
And it's all on YouTube, and it's on SoundCloud as well if you guys want to check it out. It's some of my favorite music that I've been getting into lately. Just weird ambient IDM music if you want to hear something just kind of different. And I am participating in Christmas on the Isles Volume 1, which is going to be at twitch.tv/Roge_corp at 2 p.m. on December 20th. That's a Saturday. Christmas on the Isles Volume 1 has a stacked-ass lineup, and I'm performing a 20-minute bubblegum bass DJ set. Lots of, like, Wave Racer, Cosmos Midnight, Vesper Town, Lil Texas. I got 2 old Lil Texas tracks.
No
like
way.
Back when he used to do juke and footwork.
Wow.
I have old 2014 Lil Texas tracks, 2 of them in the set, and they're great.
I will
like,
have to listen to that. I
Pre-text
know
Lil
that
Texas.
he made stuff like when Bandcamp, but I never really listened to it.
Back
so
before
I'll
he
have
got
to-
sober, he made some of the best like footwork and like Jersey Club shit.
Amazing.
So it's a great set, in my opinion. Roge Corp's doing the visuals. I've seen some of them, and they're not really safe for work, but I think he changed them since then. But either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. Beyond that, I'm playing an IRL show that's being planned in Detroit next year. Can't say who, can't say what, but it's looking like I'm going to do about a 30-minute Future Funk set in Detroit in 2026. Beyond that, it's the fourth quarter. It's the holiday season. It's shitty weather, so probably going to be a little bit of a quiet period for young SHIRO, but definitely show up on December 20th at 2 p.m. at twitch.tv/Roge_corp for Christmas on the Isles Volume 1. And check out my Local Frequency set if you want to listen to some weird shit for an hour. Maybe like if you get real ripped and you're about to go to sleep, but you can't relax, put it on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate all the regulars that we saw in chat and the new chatters as well. Thank you, Short Stuff, for being such a terrific co-host, and Smoothbrain for being here and letting us get to know you better. Same time, same place in 2 weeks. That's twitch.tv/HotTakesVapor at 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday, December 29. We're going to be bringing on an OG synthwave artist going by the name of Botnet. You've probably not heard of Botnet, but if you've listened to synthwave compilations from the early 2010s, if you've watched documentaries that have to do with the 80s or synthwave, chances are you've heard his music, and it's real good. So tune in if you fuck with synthwave in 2 weeks for our show with Botnet. Otherwise, guys, thanks again for being here, and I hope you all have a lovely night.
Now continue with